It's me, Mal, and today is Valentine's and Happy Valentine's! Sa mga single, sa mga may jowa may bumati na, kaya hindi ko na sila babaliin. So yeah, Happy Valentine's to all the single people out there. Anyways, anong ginawa nyo ngayon? Let's chika. Anong ginawa nyo noong February 14? Obviously, mag-unbox and kain tayo ng ice cream. Those flowers, buti na lang ginawa ko sila noong February 12 and 13. I am currently struggling with these Legos, and it's not even attached to this. I can't find the piece that I need. I don't know. Progress. This is the sunflowers, and I don't know what's that called. This is supposed to be the rose, and here are the stems. I'm so happy. This is the first flower that I've finished. I'm so proud of myself. I'm dressed as someone who's from Camp Half-Blood. First thumbnail muna. Very excited ako. I am currently reading, pero hindi ko pa talaga nababasa. Pero babasahin ko po mamaya. Swear. And then we have this G. We have this trilogy, the Young Elites trilogy and the Warcraft duology, na tinapos ko nung this month. Oh my God. 14 days, tinapos ko yung 5 libro ni Marilu. I am so proud of myself, Papa. Bakit ang tahimik? Hindi ko alam kung ano yung chichika ko. So, wala naman po akong love life ngayon. So, anyways, most of these books are queer books. Panay series yung binasa ko last year. So, this year, maybe try romance books na. Pero hindi lang romance, queer romance book. Chika pala ako. So, one of these books, may nahanap kasi akong seller sa Facebook, and mura yung mga libro niya compare sa ibang shops.
Everything, literally everything was set. Like, I was supposed to buy The Boyfriend Material and The Invisible Life of Larue from them because it was much cheaper from them, and all I ever asked for is to give them their IDs because I have trust issues with their page. It's a brand new page. It was literally just created a month ago, and this is how they treat their customers. It is just so unprofessional, and after this conversation that I had with them, I blocked them. But now I unblocked them and I saw their page. They have 24 likes, and all I could ever say was just good luck to them and to their business. Anyways, enjoy this time lapse.
Editing the video, I realized that it was so bad. So I decided to refilm the part where I introduced all the books that I bought. So the first book that I got was Supernova by Marissa Meyer, and this is the third book in the Renegades trilogy. I am reading a series. I want to binge read it. All of the books that I bought from Fully Booked are all plastic covered, so yeah, when you buy a paperback book, you can ask Fully Booked if they can wrap it for you. The Renegades trilogy is a fantasy book, and it's an enemies to lovers. When I read a book, I want to have no knowledge about it. When it's recommended by a bookstagrammer, by a booktuber, or a book talker, I will just buy it. And then the next book that I bought is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. And all I know about this book is that there is a girl named Addie that have prayed to the gods the answers after dark, and then no one will remember her except that someone will remember her in the present time. And then, you know, that's the story, that's the plot of the book. It's one of the books that I've been wanting for a very long time, because last year when I first discovered Book Talk, I saw Miss Amon's review about this book, and it's still on my favorite up until this day. Basically, when I was in the hospital, when they took out my appendix, that's the first video that I found from Book Talk. So yeah, it's a book that I've wanted to read for a very long time now. And the next book that I have is Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? Let me be honest, okay? I bought this book because of Ate Andrea's review about it. Probably know her from Book Talk because she's really famous in Book Talk. She also writes articles which are mwah, and her videos are also mwah. This is a debut book. This is the first book that Dustin Tao wrote, and it's a book that deals about grief. That's all I know about this book, and I'm not gonna search it because I do not want to be spoiled. And then we have these 3 books that Ate JJ sent. So basically, December 11, we had a gathering for Filipino book talkers, and basically all of the people who have joined that gathering won something from someone, and it was attended by a lot of book talkers from the Philippines. And yeah, really enjoyed it because it's a gathering for bookworms. It was so funny because nagpa-bring me sila, okay? And sabi is book-related items. And nag-expect talaga ako na masasabi na bring me a plastic cover, and I'm just standing there with the plastic cover in my hand, and natapos na yung laro and hindi man lang na-mention yung plastic cover, and wow! So, bago magtapos yung gathering na yun, is nagkaroon ng paraffle draw, and where all of us have won a prize from someone. Kasi, unti lang kami nun. I think around 30 plus. And originally, ito lang yung libro na napanalunan ko. It's The Love Hypothesis by Aliza Wood, which is about a professor and a student. You know, I believe that this is a sunshine and grumpy trope. I think this is enemies to lovers because I have searched it before. I have looked it up before. And yeah, I don't know anything about this book. That's me being honest. The third book that I received from Ate JJ is Don't Hate the Player. She's living a double life. Emilia Romero is a hockey player by day, and at night she's a star online. She's a gamer, and that's it. It's also enemies to lovers, I think, because don't hate the player, hate enemies. But I also have looked it up before. This is Unwanted by Miss Ramayana Rojas. I don't know anything about this book. I just know that the character's name is Lizaveta, and I don't know anything, and I don't want to read the back of the book because I just don't read synopsis. I know that it's enemies to lovers, and there's this video that I watch on Book Talk that there's this male and another male character, that there's this tension between them, and I believe this will be a series because I believe that I have saw a video of Miss Ramayana Rojas writing the sequel for this book. The next book that I have is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Miss Leigh Bardugo, and yeah, let me be honest. Binili ko lang tong libro na to kasi gusto ko mag-gets yung investment joke. I didn't like the Grisham trilogy. It was so hyped up, and I saw it online that it's available on hand. I didn't think twice, and I just bought it. It's an impulsive buy, and when I bought it, I have read it for a month, and it's a freaking trilogy. It's not that long, and that's just me being lazy, I think, or me being not interested in the book. The side characters are more interesting than the main characters. The next book that I have is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and it gives Hunger Games vibes. That's all I know about this book. An impulsive buy. Late in Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is from the Dark Artifices trilogy, and when I saw it for 140 pesos, sabi ko, screw it. Screw the book ban. I'm just gonna buy the book because it's for 140 pesos. It has no crack spines. It's just remaindered. It's not even 10. It's not annotated. It's not written. It's not badly abused. It's a perfectly conditioned book. So I bought it. Next book, we have Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, written by Becky Albertalli, and I have watched the movie. This book is about coming out, and yeah, that's all. So the next book that I have is Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. It's about a transgender teen grappling with identity and self-discovery. The next book that I have is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have heard that Elizabeth Acevedo is a great author because all of her books have POC representations and people who are queer representations, and it's about these twins that were separated from birth. That's what I've heard. That's what I remembered from this one booktuber that I've watched, because one of them is gay. I don't know. That's all I know. And that they were reunited because their father is dead. And what a great way to reunite siblings, specifically twins. The next book that I have is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is also a queer book that I know nothing about. This is a book that I have been there for a while. It is recommended a lot in BookTube and in Book Talk, and the sequel, Here's to Us, is available now, and I haven't bought that book because, listen, if you're gonna make a sequel, please, pantayin nyo yung size. Okay, I'm talking to you, Miss V. Schwab. I am also talking to you, Mr. Adam Silvera. Next book that I have is This Poison Heart by Miss Kaylin Bayron, and it's a fantasy book. The next book that I have is Aristotle and Dante's Discover the Secrets of the Universe. That's a very long book title, but it's by Benjamin Alire Sanz. I think that's the pronunciation. But it's queer, and that's the reason why I bought the book. And that's the only thing that I know about this book, and it's recommended a lot in Book Talk. And I do not have a taste. I realize that I do not have a taste in books. The books that I'm reading is either recommended by a friend or from someone who's from Book Talk, from BookTube, or Bookstagram, and I really wish I could be that someone who's, oh, I discovered this book and it's a book from a local author or from an international author that you know nothing of. I really wish I could be that guy, but I am not that guy. The next book that I have is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, and I think and I believe that this book is also about grief and someone who's lost someone. The next book that I have is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I have heard that it's a queer book, but not really a queer book. The next book that I have is also by Kaylin Bayron. It's Cinderella Is Dead. Basically, this is a Cinderella retelling that takes place in the Cinderella universe 200 years after Cinderella died. That's why the book title is Cinderella Is Dead. It's also a queer book, so I bought it. The next book that I have is Ace of Spades by Farida Abik-Imide. I'm sorry, please correct me if I am wrong. It's basically a queer book. That's why I bought it. I believe it's also a mystery thriller. The next book that I have is Leah on the Offbeat and The Upside of Unrequited. The next book that I have is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. This book is fake dating. So you know that it's by mcquiston. I also bought her other book, which is The One Last Stop. I believe that this is a sapphic and then this is gay, so... Next we have They Both Die at the End by Mr. Adam Silvera. They fall in love and then they die. That's all I know about this book. They Both Die at the End. The title, it spoiled us. Next we have Autobiography by Miss Christina Lauren. This is also a queer book, and I think I am going to relate to this because someone is religious and someone is openly gay. I think that's the plot. So I think I'm gonna relate to this because I was raised as someone who's religious, and even though I'm out online, I do not talk about my sexuality with my family, relatives, but my cousin, that one favorite cousin knows about me. And my friends, my best friend, they know that I'm someone who's not straight, and that's all that matters because I do not believe in coming out. The next book that I have is I Wish You All the Best by Mr. Mason Weaver. The main character is non-binary, and yeah. The next book that I have is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's a Hugo plot. Evelyn Hugo is an actress, and then she does these interviews talking about her being bisexual. The last book that I have is Under the City Lights by S.J. Wolf. I am curious about how she wrote this book, about how this book takes place in somewhere that she hadn't even been to. Thank you for watching, and I think I am going to die. 46 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna edit that. Bye, and happy belated Valentines. I don't know.